Welcome to Blackland, episode 4, titled Real Estate Agents. This is one of my favorite topics. I was one. I experienced a lot of them. Some were great, some were awful, and a lot in between. This is a topic that many buyers would want to know about. There's some basic questions that people don't know how to answer about agents. What do they do? How do they get paid? What are they supposed to do? What don't they do? And the 4 main types of agents is actually a good one that people don't ask about. It's actually 5 types. And we'll get into that at the end. You know what I've never talked about is that I stutter, and so people have been saying, "Are you nervous?" And I'm like, "No, I stutter. Like if you catch me on the street, I'll talk just like this. Except if I'm talking trash. In that instance, I actually don't stutter. Don't know why, but that's the fact. And good thing I don't, because that's one of the things that I really do well. Back to this episode, I'm going to try and make it quick. And again, Blackland is dedicated to the purpose of informing Black people on how to get involved in real estate and how they can best position themselves in the future and position their kids in terms of legacy and generational wealth. So with that said, we're going to get into real estate agents. What do they do? Actually, that's a good starting point. People are going to think that your agent is supposed to find you a house. That's not what they do at all. That's the last thing that you should want them to actually do. You can find the house yourself. There's so many websites and avenues that you yourself can actually find a property, but that's not where the skill is. The skill is actually when you have an oil tank that you didn't know about, and that agent can negotiate with the buyer a mediation between you and him that allows you to sell the property and not have the tank taken out, or have the tank taken out at the buyer's cost. That's just one example, but that's what they're getting paid for, is to maneuver these different situations that pop up that buyers and sellers just aren't prepared to handle themselves, unless they have great experience in the field, and in that case then they actually would be able to do it themselves. But the majority of people will need someone to navigate those type of experiences for them. So they don't get paid to find you a home. That's not what you would want a great agent to actually do. What do? They, like I said, part of it is a negotiation. That's a big part of it. And then the other big part is getting you from the time you offer to actually closing and getting keys. So there's a lot in between there. There's coordinating appraisers, inspectors. There's negotiating terms with the buyer before the seller even hears about them. Those agents can negotiate things and say, "Listen, that's not going to happen. Don't even ask for it." So there's a lot of behind the scenes work that agents do that people are not aware of, but they are constantly putting out fires before the fire is even lit. So that's one of the great responsibilities that they have, and they do it well. A lot of them do it extremely well. How do agents get paid is important. As a buyer or a seller, you tend to not value agents' time, and I hate agents as much as the next guy. But the fact is that the only way that they get paid is if a sale is consummated. So if the sale is never completed or closed, they don't get paid. So it's important that buyers and sellers respect their time, because that's all that they have is time. So you can't be bringing out, taking out an agent around looking at 8 houses and then not go through with a sale with them, because you see in another house, you walk into an open house and then you buy it with that agent, when this guy or gal has showed you 10 homes and spent, 10, 12, 15 hours of their time devoted to you, and then now you go over to an open house and buy it from them. So if you are a buyer and you're looking around and you have an agent, give them a heads up that, hey, I want to see that house. There's an open house sign. I'm walking in. What do I do? And they'll say, let them know that you are working with me, and everything will be cool. So just be courteous of their time and their skills, because that's the only way they get paid, is if a sale is actually made and that they are the agent on that sale. With that said, there's 5 types of agents that I have seen. And actually, before, let's back up. A lot of agents will have you sign paperwork. As a seller, you have to sign a exclusive right to sell, which allows an agent to represent you and market your home. That's common. Now, the buyer end, buyers can sign exclusive rights contracts with an agent, which means that with that agent, if you buy anything, even if it's an open house, if you find it, if they find it, they are going to get paid. So whenever you're signing a contract or an agreement as a buyer, be aware of actually what you're signing, and ask the agent to explain it. And don't sign it on the spot. Go back, read it, have a friend look it over, have whoever, but just don't go and sign anything immediately, because you need to actually take a look at it, because a lot of those contracts will tie you up for a minute, and like, even it can be like 6 months afterwards if you buy anything in that time, that you still owe that agent money. So be careful with those. Going into the 5 types of agents, you have the efficiency agent, and that's the agent who has like a team. They'll have an assistant. They're really thorough, but their main objective is to get transactions in and out. So you can identify that, is that when you go in and speak with an agent, if they say, I'm going to have you fill out paperwork with my assistant, then I'll have one of the people on my team to take you out. They're good, but you got to understand that it's a assembly line, and so they are going to pass you from cog to cog to cog. They get you in and out, but they also don't have time for you to be looking at things just like, oh, I want to look at that home. No, they will pin you down and say, what are you able to afford? What are your requirements? And they're going to make sure that they don't waste any time with you. So they can be good, but just understand that that's their deal. The next agent is the passionate agent, who is passionate about either real estate itself, so like the stock of homes and the architecture, or just the craft of selling. And those are actually kind of nice agents, because they'll have info on stuff that you didn't even want to know about, but it's helpful. So and they have a wealth of info of past sales and everything, so you can tell them, because they don't have a team. It's just going to be them, and they're going to really want to know what you want in a home. So you might walk into the office and they'll spend like 20, 30, 40 minutes trying to figure out what you want. And those are great, because they are going to show you everything that you need to see, because they understand what your eye is at that point. So those agents are good to work with. And I was a mix in between the top 2. I mean, those first 2, not top 2, but just the first 2. The third is a lifer. Oh, and also the efficiency agent 1 and the passionate agent 2, both are going to be full-time agents, which is important, because whenever you call, they will be available, or someone will be. with the if efficiency team, you won't ever get the agent. You're going to get his or her assistant. The lifer, real estate agent. Those are the worst. They've been in the game forever, and they're bitter, and they have stories that are awful. Like every story is bad. They complain, they whine. You will spot them instantly, and as soon as you see it, run. Like, get out of the office. Come back another day if that's the office you want to work through. So make sure that you avoid them because they're awful. The next one, number 4, is the hobbyist. Oh, and the lifer can be full time. They were full time at some point, or still are, but they can go to part time or whatever. The hobbyist is that they want to make a little bit of extra money. That they have a full time job, but they like real estate, or they like the money, and so they want to be involved in the industry. It depends with those. Like, they can be good because they're either gonna morph into, the passionate efficiency agent, or on the efficiency agent's team, or they're gonna turn into the lifer or just quit. So those, you just have to kind of watch and look for the drive in that person. So if they're really driven and they work hard and they're and they hustle, trying to find you stuff, they can be good. So just with those, you're gonna have to look at it. But they're part time, so you're gonna notice that they won't say. You should ask if they are part time or full, but at times you won't know unless you ask. But you can tell because, like, at times they won't respond back until like after 5 or 12 o'clock. Like they'll respond like before work, lunch, or after work. So just look at the times that they are responding, and at that point, if it's not good enough, then you should ask them. Say, are you full time or part time? And if they're part time, you can say, listen, I need a full timer. Or if you're fine with it, then be fine with it. The 5th type is the expert of nothing agent, and they're part time, but they have read a bunch of books and they know exactly how a deal's supposed to go, but they've done like 0 deals. So in practice, they don't know anything, but on paper they know everything. So those you got to be aware of. You always want to, when you are interviewing an agent, buyer or seller agent, you want to ask them for a track record. And they don't have to have like 100 sales, but you want them to have anywhere between 10 and 20. And you can ask them, what was your most challenging sale, and how did you overcome it? Because this is the person that's going to be responsible for the biggest transaction of your life. So you probably should be a little bit thorough with the interview, and actually have an interview. So and that goes for both selling and buyer agents. So with that said, this one was kind of short. I mean the last 2 have been 20. I hope this is way under. But again, my name is Jamie. I'm with Blackland, and again, this video series is to empower Black people to become more involved in real estate, so they can change the generational trajectory of their families.